Okay, next question from Shaan Puri. He says he's the MFM guy, My First Million. Sean asks, what percentage of revenue do you target for headcount ads during a business scale up? Let's say you're in year 2 or year 3.
Yeah, I'm curious what your take is here.
Good question. Very, very low. And mine, I think a lot of people spend way too much on headcount.
Yeah,
I think I spend way too little on headcount.
Yeah, I feel like your rule of thumb is for every $1 million, you get 1 employee.
Yeah, and I think it's even less than that, actually. Like at Native, at our peak, we were doing $750,000 per month per employee, which is insane.
Wow.
So we were doing, $8 million, $9 million per year per employee.
Wow.
I think that's too low. I think that is a good method of thinking about it. But I'd say probably $2 million, like early on, maybe yes, $1 million per employee per year. So if you're at $10 million, you can have 10 employees. If you're at 20, you can have 13, 14. I think at some point it gets worse.
It tapers off.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do $1.5 million, then $2 million a year.
Right.
So it definitely depends. I would say I target under 10%. If I see businesses with 20%, if it was Sharma Brands, I'd say this is different. You're not selling an e-commerce business.
Sure.
You need people to run your business. But if you're an e-commerce business and 20% of your revenue is spent on headcount, that is a lot of lost dollars. And I'd be very, very worried about that. I would say under 10%, I feel good. Under 5%, I'm like, you're doing really well. Under 2.5%, which I've seen, you probably need to hire more. But I like you.
Yeah. A lot of the clients that we have at Sharma Brands, most of their digital team is probably, on a marketing side, it's no more than usually 3 people. And that could be a brand that's doing 100 million in D2C or 25 million in D2C. But they have a lot more like agencies and contractors that they work with, and they might use and then turn off for a bit and go back to them as they need, versus having all these people internal.
Yeah, I do think that our business is unique in that we have so many third parties that it can skew this number of okay, well, you have an agency, doesn't that count? And yeah, it does count. For us, when we sold the business, we were 8 employees. And I think by far the largest group was customer service. It was 4 or 5 employees in CS. I think that you can do a lot. We all underestimate what we can do.
Agreed.
You can probably do a lot. And if you're it also depends on the mode that you're in. If you're in growth mode, you probably need to focus more on products and strategy and branding. And if you're in maintenance mode, which is 2 or 3 years, you might be in maintenance mode. You might be look, all I need is CS, some operations, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of stuff does depend. And when I was running it, I was like, look, I'm good at Facebook ads, but I'm not good at Google ads. And I'm not good at, and our Pinterest ad rep at the time, I'll tell you, was running our Pinterest ads. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
And then we had some agency helping us with some emails, probably year 3 or year 4 as well.
Yeah.
I think the answer to Sean's question, which is a really good one, is less than 10% is right. There are reasons that it could be more than, even with agencies, I think it's probably less than 10%. There are reasons it could be north of 10%. But north of 20%, I'd really be you have to justify this, because this seems if we were in a board meeting and someone said I'm 10%, I'd be we can move on. Someone said I'm 2%, I'd be why is it so low? And if someone said I'm 20%, I'd be we need to have a conversation. What's going on over here?
Yeah.
Why do you have so many people?
For some of the boards you sit on, do you know where that number is?
Yeah. They're pretty good, actually. Most are pretty good. There are instances, not on boards that I sit on, where I've seen where I'm why do you have so many people in this marketing department? And the reality is you have to be really disciplined as a CEO, because the first thing anyone when someone's hired after a couple of years, you know what they want to do? Manage somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're I'm 24 now. I need to manage somebody. I need 3 direct reports.
Yeah.
And one, I hate I want 0 direct reports. Nobody talk to me. Yeah. I think that's the difference between when you get to an executive level, when you're growing, you're look at how many direct reports I have. This is awesome. When you're an executive, you're please nobody talk to me.
Please stop texting me.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's true. But I think that there will be as much work as you give people, right?
Yeah,
if you're
totally.
So the more people you hire, they'll find a way to look busy or keep busy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really scary. if you fired 3 people on your staff right now, what would change in your revenue
Right.
In the next 6 months? And if the answer is nothing, then you should stop hiring at least.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
Agreed.